Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's see if we can make this into a short. We're working on getting the crankshaft timing gear off of the crankshaft, and we've been successful to do that. Did need a pulling tool. There it is. And I had a little bit of a problem with mine, not with the tool itself. But the problem is that the bolts for the hub here are 8s, and they're a 1.25 thread pitch. The only bolts that were in the kit were these longer ones, and the problem I had is that when I'll show you. Find it. Okay. When the timing gear and hub was on, as you can see, the fender flange here had a problem with the bolt that was going right in there. It was backing out because of the length and the lack of thread on the shaft here. The bolt stuck out so far that as the hub loosened, we ran into an issue here because the way the engine timing is, that we're set at top dead center. I don't know if we can see it this close up, but there's the timing mark on the hub. Okay. And there's the timing mark on the block. And it's that little tick mark right there, okay? Sorry about that. So, those obviously were lined up, and we didn't want to mess with that at all. Sorry, I'm trying to hold it still. But in any event, the longer bolt. So, what did we do? I went down and grabbed an 8 upside down, and I got one without the flange too. So I got a bolt without the flange, and I got an 8 by 125 by 50. Now the 50 was a little short, so what I wound up doing is, instead of using the pin cap that goes on the end of the extractor, I went ahead and pulled this off, went ahead and got the extractor as close to the crankshaft as I could, and got these bolts threaded so I didn't have to run down and get another set at 55 millimeter length, and then went ahead and proceeded that way. There's no damage to the crankshaft, and of course it's coned in to the crankshaft, so and there was no damage to the end of the rental tool as well, except maybe for a little bit of just discoloration. All right, so the hub is off and the timing gear is off, and we can proceed to remove the seal. Now, as you can see, this is the back side. There's only one way for this to go on, and I put it down. Let's zoom in. There is one tooth that is not like all the others, and there it is right there. And that, of course, corresponds with a larger tooth right there that's on the camshaft itself. Sorry, not very steady this morning. Okay. And I'll get a side shot of that. Too close. But basically, it's going to go back on as you took it off. Basically, 2 bolts to the top, and then that locating pin. Get a zoom out here. And that locating pin to the top, and that'll go right back on. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get this area cleaned up. with some contact cleaner and a brush, and then we'll be back to do the seal removal. Now this seal doesn't have any edges to it, and I don't know whether or not there's going to be any leaking. Actually, you know what, since we're already past 3 minutes, let's go see. Let's see if we can do this. On the upper cam seals, I went ahead and used this large pick. It worked fine. In talking with my mechanic friends, they said on those cam seals, they go ahead and use just a flathead screwdriver. Either way, you can get behind those seals, and that's on the previous video that we have for you. So, all right, let's get in here. Let me see if we can just set this up for you real quick. Make it down and dirty, and try not to interfere with it. All right, I should be able to go straight into the seal with the pick. To get that bugger out. While we're at it, let's just double check the seal we've got. Oops. SKF, this one came from IPD, there's our part number, and I double checked with them because of the notation here. It says front cam seal, that means, and for red block, and then it's a crank seal for the white engine, which is what we're working with here. All right, so while we're at it, let's just go ahead and confirm everything looks fine without going all the way in. Yes, indeed, that is the right seal. And it looks like this one's good, but again, at 225,000 miles, and I've got everything off of here anyway. There's only one real way to make this happen, and might as well go ahead and get that off of there now. So I'm gonna go in against the smooth surface of the crankshaft. I'm gonna see if I can get some bite with this tool around the edge and try to get it pried out. Don't want to, obviously, scar that surface whatsoever. If you have a seal removal tool, obviously that can work fine, but I'm operating without that benefit. So I'm just gonna take my time and see if we can get some bite on this guy. This looks like we're getting in there. Definitely getting the outer part dealt with. That's going to be the hard part of the seal. Trying to get in between, just dead square in the middle, to get that pick to bite. Once this seal gives way, that's pretty easy to get in. You know what? Let me grab. I have a small little hammer real quick, which I didn't bring down from the engine bay. see if we can just tap this thing in and get it out of there. All right. Now let's see. The easiest way is going to be able to grab it. This side's already done. That part of the seal. Okay, so we're exposing check the seal one more time. It doesn't look like... Okay, there are some openings. Let's see if we can check. Those small little indentations actually are a little bit thinner part of that hub ring that goes around it. So I don't see that this seal has those on it. So I'm trying to find a spot to get in here. Now that outer coating is interesting because right here, I don't know if you can see it, it's pretty hard. It's almost like there's a metal seal there. Now, I know that seal's coming out. Why it would be metal, I have no idea. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm straight, and I'm gonna go straight in. And I'm gonna try to pry out and pull. Okay. See if we can pry it against itself. So we can slide down here a little bit. Okay. That part of the seal's starting to pull. Let's see if we can get behind that. If we can just get enough behind a strong part of the seal, it should pull right out for us. Otherwise, we're gonna have a whole nother set of problems. I'm trying to get this done so we get everything put back together. All right. Okay, that's the seal moving. All right, there it comes. All right, so once it broke free, we're out. Okay. There she blows. You can see the pick was up against, there we go, sorry. Pick was up against the plastic. Let's check. Where are, okay, no oil behind there, a little bit. But the important thing is that no damage was done to right around this area. That the race and the surfaces were intact. And we have no issues with any leaks getting by. Because a nick, obviously, in the crankshaft. So be very careful. Okay? Definitely don't want any issues with that. Feel with my finger, nice and smooth. Again, I was trying to keep the pick at what would be parallel to the crankshaft. And we can come in and take a look real quick. All right. I'll do a little close up just to show you that everything looks clean on the surface. No etching, no scars from pulling that seal. So once that seal let loose, let's take a look there. That seems to be let's see, where's that? It's down there on that lower edge. There's the crank, there it is. Okay. Looks like to me just pitting. Okay, that's dirt. There's a little spot on the crankshaft. There's a little micro abrasion right here. Let's take a look. I don't know whether that was there or not. That nick on the outside certainly wasn't. Those on the surface are not going to be that big of a deal. I don't know what that is. Take a look. Pick. See that anywhere around? Again, I was working over here on this side, so I don't believe that little blemish is going to have any issue, nor do I think. I'm kind of concerned about this. Concerned about that. That almost looks like something that happened like from the exterior. Okay, so we're going to clean this up. The new seal, we're just going to coat with some oil, and then it's going to go back in. We'll probably find, since this seal is a lot smaller than the cam seals, okay, this is going to go back in. Once it is oiled up, it's going to slide right in there. Oops, where are we at? Sorry. Wind that back out. Okay. Seal's going to go in. We'll get that centered, and we'll get it started with finger, and then we'll find a socket that is large enough. Probably the 30. I have a 32 as well, and then we'll go from there. So with that, our crank shaft timing pulley is off. The what we can do is, just to double check, let's go ahead and examine this. Just to check for any damage to the outer wall of the seal. Okay, and we don't see anything coming all the way back around. This is obviously the area that kind of got chewed up. But again, we finally were able to get underneath the inside here. And then once that started to spin around, it was lights out and it came off. So any of the blemishes that are on the mating surfaces, what I call the races, or the outer perimeter or the inner perimeter of the mounting surfaces, all of that would have been intact because nothing of the pick that I had penetrated through the outer wall. Okay, and anything, everything on the was done as far as the pick getting down underneath. Basically, we got down underneath inside of this, and we're able to basically pry it off. There's the little opening, and was able to get behind the hard piece of plastic and then pry it back off. All right, so with that, we're going to clean this up, make it nice and clean. Let's go back up there and see how much we got. Oh yeah, looking good. The new water pump's installed. And then just the timing, the tensioner is going to go on next. I just want to get all this cleaned up, and then we'll be back for the install, and we'll start putting everything back together and get this thing reset for timing. Definitely coming up. I always forget at the beginning, I've got just 14 more subscribers, if you could. 14 more subscribers, and I can start doing live videos, not only of the work that I'm doing here on the S60, the 2006, but over my shoulder here is, I want to do a live reveal of the new Volvo that I've got, SUV, and of course we have to do this on our C70 convertible 2012 that we have as well. But with 115,000 miles, I just have to do a timing belt, so not as extensive as this work. We're going to do the water pump as well because it is kind of leaking, of course, and we'll do the tensioner pulley and also the idler pulley as well. All right, with that, I am out. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to share and comment, and please, 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 if you haven't already done so, forward this, share this, and see if we can get 14 more subscribers so we can do that live reveal of that SUV from Volvo. It's quite a treat. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great time.